Kim Kardashian confesses that her children are stubborn following her worst nightmare, parenting mistake. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Kim Kardashian is getting very real about how tough it is to raise 4 young children while managing a busy life filled with business meetings, court duties, and non-stop public attention. In a recent episode of her reality show, The Kardashians, she opened up like never before, sharing how hard it can be to keep things together as a single mother. The 43-year-old star, who shares her kids' North, St. Chicago, and song with her ex-husband Kanye West, admitted that she's reaching her breaking point trying to balance her responsibilities. The emotional weight of parenting without full-time support is catching up with her, and she's no longer pretending everything is under control. While on her way to jury duty, Kim spoke on the phone with a friend and gave an unfiltered look at what life is really like at home. She explained that her days are chaotic, and many times she feels completely alone in handling everything. Although she has the resources to manage her businesses and make public appearances, the emotional labor of raising her children day to day without a co-parent present most of the time has become exhausting. What seemed like a moment of vulnerability turned into a major confession as Kim described one particular experience that pushed her over the edge. She remembered how everything fell apart during a Zoom interview she was supposed to do from home. Instead of being able to focus, she found herself hiding in the bathroom and locking the door just to escape the noise of her children screaming and banging at the door. That moment, she said, felt like her biggest nightmare had come true. It was supposed to be a professional moment, and instead, she was surrounded by the loud chaos of parenthood. Kim admitted that this kind of thing is not unusual in her house. The constant energy, the yelling, the arguing, it all adds up. What makes it harder is that she used to consider patience her greatest strength. But recently, she said, even that is running low. She shared that she's now open to trying anything that might bring a little peace to her home because she can't keep going like this. In a more personal scene from the same episode, Kim sat down to speak directly to the camera and reflected on what she's been going through. She shared that she often struggles with discipline. Unlike her sister Khloe, who she says has a more strict parenting style, Kim finds it very hard to say no and stick with it. She acknowledged that sometimes she lets her children have their way just to avoid arguments or emotional meltdowns. She explained that when the kids start crying or asking again and again, she often gives in. Whether it's letting them have the iPad or allowing something she initially said no to, it usually happens because she doesn't want to deal with the drama. She laughed a little as she admitted that her children know exactly how to wear her down. She said they know how to trigger the tears, and once that starts, she finds herself saying, "Okay, fine, just stop crying." This honesty about how she handles her household gave fans a much more human look at Kim Kardashian. Even though she's one of the most famous people in the world, her struggles with parenting are deeply relatable. Being overwhelmed by the demands of children and work is something many parents go through, and Kim's willingness to talk about it has sparked a lot of support and understanding from her fans. Back in May 2023, Kim had already shared that parenting alone has brought her to tears many times. During an episode of the On Purpose with Jay Shetty podcast, she said that there are nights she cries herself to sleep. She described the experience like being caught in a storm inside her own house, with mood swings, arguments, and emotional outbursts from her children all happening at once. She said it often feels like she's playing both roles, good cop and bad cop, with no one else there to share the burden. She also talked about how every child has a different personality, and trying to respond to each of them in the right way is one of the most exhausting parts of being a mom. One moment she might be helping one child with something kind and thoughtful, and the next she's trying to calm another one down after a fight. It never ends. She said that when you're the only adult present, you don't get to take a break or hand things off to someone else. Despite how glamorous her public life may look, Kim's story is a reminder that parenting is one of the hardest jobs out there. She may have fame and money, but the emotional work, the stress, and the pressure to keep her kids happy and well-behaved is just as real for her as it is for anyone else. Her recent comments have started many conversations online, especially among other parents who say they feel the same way but don't always feel like they can say it out loud. For Kim, showing this side of herself was likely not easy. She has built a brand on strength, confidence, and always having things under control. But admitting that things are messy at home and that she's struggling to stay patient shows another level of strength, the kind that comes from being honest. Many fans have praised her for speaking up about the emotional toll of being a parent, especially a single one. She's also making it clear that she wants to improve. Her words on the show showed that she's not giving up. She still wants to find ways to bring more structure to her home, even if it means learning from others. She mentioned Khloe's stricter methods not as criticism but as something she wishes she could be better at. The problem, though, is not just about rules. It's also about feeling emotionally drained. When you're tired all the time, it's harder to stand firm or say no 100 times a day. This kind of emotional openness is something fans of the Kardashians haven't always seen from Kim. Over the years, much of her image has focused on success, running her companies, attending glamorous events, and making big deals. But behind all of that, there's also a mom who's trying to stay calm while 4 kids run around, argue, cry, and ask for things nonstop. It's a kind of challenge that doesn't go away with money or fame. Kim also showed that, like many parents, she's not perfect. She makes compromises to get through the day. She lets the kids have extra screen time, she gives in to demands just to stop the noise, and she sometimes hides in the bathroom just to get a few minutes of quiet. These are things many parents would never guess a celebrity mom does, but it's exactly what makes her story so real. As her kids continue to grow, she will likely face even more challenges. But by speaking up now, she's creating space for more honest conversations about parenting. There's nothing easy about being a single parent, no matter how much outside help you have. The emotional part is something only you can carry. And while Kim has help in other areas of her life, like assistants, bodyguards, and business teams, being a mom is the one role where all the decisions fall on her shoulders. She's the one who has to deal with tantrums, who has to find time to go to work and still be there to put the kids to bed, who has to make sure everyone is fed, comforted, entertained, and safe. It's a 24/7 job, and she's admitting that sometimes it feels like too much. The public may see her at red carpet events or leading major fashion and beauty campaigns, but these recent episodes show that there's another side to Kim Kardashian. One that is trying her best, learning on the job, and doing everything she can to keep her family happy and healthy, even if it means crying in silence when the day ends. And that side, many people agree, is the most relatable and inspiring of all. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.